Welcome, everybody. Episode 24 of the Great Western Podcast. Today is Saturday, November 29th. I am your host, as always, Mark the Wizard Masurlian, and here is the NBA historian, David Chu. How are you?
Doing awesome.
Good, good. Happy. How was your Thanksgiving, Chu?
It was great. We didn't have turkey. We had Korean barbecue.
Korean bar.
It's
That's
very typical of my family. Not
okay.
big turkey eaters.
Korean barbecue Thanksgiving. That's nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had some turkey myself. It was good. It was good. So, Chu, a lot of things are going on, okay, in the NBA right now. The Emirates Cup is happening. The rookies are popping off. There's a lot of players that have stepped up their game this year. So we're going to kind of go step by step, and we're going to have a few different categories we're going to talk about today. We're just going to go ahead and get started with the Kia NBA rookie ladder. Okay, what do you say to that?
Well, I think what we're seeing with Knueppel is that players are coming into the NBA ready.
Yeah.
It's these players are so much more mature than they've ever been. Like to think that someone can come in and average 20 points a game. Um, and he's basically, I think he's on pace to join the 50-40-90 club.
Yeah.
Um, and he's just some rookie on like a crappy team and he's so efficient. Like this guy, yeah, he's incredible. I saw that he is the son of a, um, both his parents played college ball, and I think they both own the scoring records in
I didn't know that.
in their respective like small D2 or D3 school. So yeah, this guy he was born to play ball, and he's got little brothers that apparently in route also.
Yeah,
It's
there's
just
like four of them, right? I mean, Con
yeah,
Knueppel, look at this NBA rookie ladder that we have here from NBA.com. He's number one right now, averaging 19 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. Okay, he was the fourth pick in the draft. He played next to Cooper Flag at Duke, so maybe he's better than people thought, but no, people didn't notice him because everyone was focusing on Flag and how transcendiary he was as a talent. But he's a feel good story. I don't know if you saw those images of him like hosting the Hornets at their at this house or something like that. I think they were in Wisconsin. I mean, he seems to be a solid NBA player. He's shooting the lights out. And is this going to be a kind of a cool off kind of situation? Is this going to be a flash in the pan, or is this going to be like is he the real deal? Is it too early to tell, or what do you think about this?
yeah. I'm rooting for him, so it's like I always my bias is that this is going to be the start to a great career. Just reading this right here, it says Keegan Murray has the rookie mark of for three pointers made of 206, and he's on pace for 303. So he's on pace to shatter it,
Yeah.
which also means he's on pace to break Steph Curry's all-time three pointers made. Now, obviously, it's only
Okay.
been a couple months of the season,
Yeah. That's a
but
little yeah, conjecture.
a couple of years ago, we thought that record would be very hard to be broken. But Nipple, and you know what? There's probably another 10 Nipples that are just shooting in the gym that are in sixth grade right now that
Right.
have watched Steph Curry and will now watch Nipple play. So, records are meant to be broken. I'm rooting for him. One thing that jumps out to me about him is um, he's almost at six rebounds a game. If you look at traditional um, sharpshooters, they don't really get in there and rebound and set screens. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know, but what do you think Klay Thompson's all-time rebound? What's his highest season mark for rebounds per game?
I don't
Or
know.
do you know
Let's
that?
look it up. What can you look it up? What can you look it up for me? I'm
Yeah,
actually
yeah. Let
uh,
me glance at this here.
what? Yeah, I mean Clay Thompson. I think about like Kyle Korver or something like that, or Reggie Miller. But
Yeah, totally. But Con seems to have more dribble to his game than Kyle Korver.
the NBA
Um,
has changed a lot. Obviously, as we know, with the fast pace, more shooting, more shooting, more possessions, more everything. Um, just a lot of stuff going on. There's just more points to be scored, more points per 100 possessions, all of that stuff. So maybe it's a trend of the way the NBA is going, and but at the same time, we never thought someone would average a triple double again. Then, Westbrook did it. Now Jokic is doing it, dominating. So but I do think Knueppel, it remains to be seen, obviously, what's going to be happening in his career. But what he's doing right now, um, like it's wild, and I'm happy for the guy, and obviously, like you said, this is the question you asked earlier. If there was a redraft today, would he go ahead of Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper, or VJ Edgecombe, which went the first three before him? What do you think about that? Would you take Knueppel over any of these three today?
I, I'm definitely taking him ahead of VJ Edgecombe. I just think that where the NBA is headed, his type of skill set is so valuable. Edgecombe to me, obviously also sample size, take everything with a grain of salt, but
Yeah,
Edgecombe seems more of an athletic, kind of wing, potentially like a Kuminga, on the low end, or these type of players, they don't the range is so wide. Whereas if you can get Knueppel, it's like you can slot him in as the second best, or his ceiling is the second best player on a championship team, may potentially a first. We'll see. So I did just do a quick stat check here. Kyle Korver's best rebounding season, 4.6 rebounds.
not
Reggie
bad.
Miller's best rebound season. Well, hold on. Klay Thompson's was 4.1. Reggie Miller, it doesn't say here. But it definitely wasn't as high as Khan. So Khan is actually in there grabbing boards. It could be a pace thing. Obviously these guys played in slower times when we had to less
Exactly.
shots, so less opportunities to rebound.
So yeah,
Um,
there's a part of it where like the numbers reflect the game as well, and it's not like you can't look at it in a vacuum. But I mean, Edgecombe did come out of the season really hot, right? Edgecombe did have that, like, I think he had like a 35-point game or whatever, and his numbers are still pretty good. 15, 6, and 4. He has slowed down quite a bit, playing next to Maxi, but I think he's going to be good. Yeah, as you said, it's the sample size is really small for all these guys, but it's actually turning out to be, I think, a better rookie class than maybe on paper we thought it was going to be. I mean, he's playing some minutes for those Sixers teams, and I think he was starting a little bit as well. Um,
well, VJ Edgecombe could be Dwayne Wade, right? But he could also be Tyreek Evans, or he could be
oh, interesting, right? Kind of soft.
Moutier. Moutier. Remember that guy in the Nuggets that was
I do
athletic?
remember that for the Knicks.
Emmanuel Mudiay, like an athletic freak that doesn't, these guys,
I
who
will,
knows? Who
yeah, I
knows?
will say, like with Anthony Edwards, for example, I thought that he was not gonna he wouldn't ascend as much as he did with his like. I didn't think his athleticism would translate as well, but he's became an all-star. I'm not saying that I think that Edgecombe is like a Anthony Edwards player, but he jumps out of the building kind of like Ant does, but he has to do it.
Are
Um,
you are you taking are you taking Knueppel in a redraft higher than 4?
I would as of now, I probably would still take Edgecombe personally, but I do think Knueppel. Maybe I'm biting my own words on that. Because I do think Knueppel is. He's come out of nowhere, right? But I would still probably give the edge to Edgecombe right here. But it's close. Talk to me at the All-Star break, and maybe it'll be you can't deny the truth of Knueppel. We also have surprise guests here, Cedric Coward, who is quietly playing quite well for the lowly Grizzlies team. He's not really too flashy, but he's putting up some numbers. He seems like he's going to be a really good player in the league. Um, we have Flag as well, who with how poorly the Mavs are playing and how much this Luca versus AD trade, which the game was last night, and Luca was just looking amazing, and AD first game of the season or something like that, or second game of the season is not playing so well. I think there's a lot of pressure on Flag to be as good as Luca today, and he's just not there, even though he's putting up some good numbers.
Yeah, I'm not worried at Flag at all. This team was you can't drop him in a team that just traded Luka and expect him to,
Yeah, he's going to be
it's
good, but
just it's he's gonna be just fine.
the expectations are too high. But then we both were circling this guy, um, Derek Queen, the New Orleans Pelicans, right? He wasn't getting a lot of minutes early on, but in the last couple of weeks, he's really kind of picked it up. He's had some massive scoring games, and here I pulled this thing up here. Uh, Let's see here. This is like a nice little behind the back pass, in transition, coast to coast, And what were you telling me? You had the details on this on this pick. What did the Pelicans trade to get this guy?
I think I think they traded their 2026 first round pick to Atlanta to
Yeah,
move
it
up
was yeah.
to
Maryland,
to
yeah,
move up
the Hawks
uh
picked him at 13, traded to the Pelicans.
13. Yep, yep. And so now, and they didn't protect it. This is classic Joe Dumars, choosing Darko over Dwayne Wade.
Right.
Or so
Carmelo,
Joe Dum
Carmelo.
or Carmelo, yeah, yeah. Um he basically they should have just protected the pick, right? They went from like 18 down to 13 to select this guy. So Joe Dumars found his guy. And this he just kind of seems like Derek Queen. He kind of seems like uh what's the center on the Rockets? Same kind of
Şengün?
Şengün, same kind of pick, right? Picked in the teens. They don't jump out at the screen athletically. High basketball IQ, great touch,
Right,
great vision,
right.
and all of these guys. Again, Jokic, this kind of thing is like this is where the league is headed. They can run. It's clear you can run an offense through this guy.
Yep,
Great pick. The
right.
problem is, the problem is that they're probably going to give away top five, maybe top three, maybe the first pick in the draft to move a few spots to get him. So when you combine that with the fact that during the finals, when it looked like the Pacers were going to be another powerhouse for the years to come, they had an unprotected Pacers pick that they traded in the finals last year. Um, yeah, yeah, it's devastating for Pelicans fans because imagine pairing Derek Queen with a top three pick next year. They traded it away. Again, you can't really blame them. The Pacers were in the finals, but now it looks like the Pacers, I mean, they're gonna tank, and thank God they are. And this potentially could be a Tim Duncan goes to the Spurs move where the Spurs were really good. They had a top 3 or 5 player in David Robinson. He went down for a whole year, and then they got Tim Duncan, and the next year they won the championship. So imagine pairing Tyrese Halliburton with a 1, 2, or 3 pick next year. I love it for the Pacers. I'm a huge Pacers fan. I think the
Right.
Pacers are a model franchise. Okay, they never miss the playoffs. They're always competitive, and then every 10 or 15 years, they're back in the finals with a puncher's shot to win the whole thing. You
They
know?
could have won. I mean, if we talked about famously, if Halliburton doesn't blow out his Achilles, like they could have won that game. He was cooking. But I mean, I do
Yep.
I do think with Queen, I completely agree with you. I think that he has great touch. He's good around the rim. He has a high IQ, and I was wondering how he was gonna play next to Zion, and I didn't think that was a good fit. And then it's like, well, they traded for Looney as well, or they brought in Looney. I'm like, what are they doing over here with the Pelicans? And it just kind of seems like what's going to be the long-term window for Zion next to Queen? I don't know if they're the right fit for each other, but it seems like it's a better fit than I originally thought it was going to be. And shout out over here to Jeremiah Fears, also a good pick from the Pelicans, who's quietly putting together a really good rookie campaign with 15, 3 and 3. And those two together, I mean, I've been watching some Pelicans games. I mean, they're a nice combo. I mean, obviously they're young and the team is not very good, but I think that I don't want to say the future is bright for the Pelicans, unfortunately, but I do like these players, and I do think that they have some good fodder there. But you never know; they can always make a bad move or whatever it might be. But these rookies have been pretty good, and also shout out to Ryan Kalkbrenner, also with the Hornets. And this kind of goes into he's been playing well. I mean, talk about a number. He's number 34 pick in the draft, and he actually was up to a point up to a number 4 in the ladder. But this kind of goes into what I was going to ask you as well. The Hornets historically have been not a very good franchise, right? At least with what they've done in the draft. If you look at this image I have up here, famously they drafted and traded Kobe Bryant for Vlade Divac. right? They drafted Shea and moved them on draft night, right, to the Clippers. And then more recently, which we're going to get into later, they actually drafted Duren and traded his rights to the Pistons. So, Chew, the Clipper curse continues. What's going on here with the Clippers and these Hornets?
Yeah, it's just, some franchises are just they're just doomed, I guess. I think the Pelicans, the
Uh-huh.
Hornets, the Sacramento Kings, and the Los Angeles Clippers. If we're just talking about sorry franchises, I can't even open up a box score to look at Clipper games anymore. I'm just we were up by like 15 yesterday. I opened it up against the Grizzlies. Um, and I'm like, oh, we actually might win this game. We're up by 15 in the half, or in the third or something. And then slowly just they just get chipped away. And kind of tying this all together is I just think a lot of young players are just coming in more ready and more hungry. And, maybe in 2010 or 2015 or 1995, having a team full of vets, um, when the talent wasn't as spread out throughout the league, was a winning formula. And I don't
Right.
really even blame the Clippers for trying to put together like a vet heavy team, a vet savvy team with Brooke Lopez and Chris Paul and Nicholas Batum. I personally thought the Clippers were going to win 50 games from here. Um,
Doesn't look like it, huh?
no, no, but I think what's happening is um, people saw the Rick Carlisle defense and the Thunder defense in the final where you
Right.
basically pressed everyone.
High pace steals, high aggressive blitzing defenses as they're calling it now. Absolutely.
Yep,
Absolutely.
and with the Clippers specifically, if they get turned over, their transition defense is dog shit. It
Yeah.
is instant points. And I'm just watching these like pit bulls go after James Harden, and James Harden, bless his heart, he's having a good year, but it's like, dude, it's like you're going up against, yeah, they're handsy, and when you're old, you don't have the endurance
Right.
to bring a ball up. And I'm just like, the Clippers are just like they're just always a step behind. It's like they picked Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, and they went with this two big lineup that didn't shoot threes as soon as the league was transitioning to this fast-paced, no position, three-point barrage thing. And then they're like, okay, great, we're gonna copy that. We got Paul George and we got Kawhi, and we're gonna be wing heavy, right? Wing stop or whatever. And as then all of a sudden the league goes now to like this big offense, right? Where it's you have double bigs and Chet
Yep.
and
They can
Hartenstein
pop.
or
Yeah.
or Jokic or and I'm just like bless their heart, the Clippers, but it's like, dude, this is crazy, and I can't even. I'm just like, we can't even blow it up because we give our pick to the
Yeah. You
best
can't even
team
blow it up. They're all
potentially in
old.
the ever.
Yeah, it's really a hard time in Clipper world in Clipper land right now. Kawhi's not even playing. The whole aspiration thing is
He is
losing.
playing. He's played the last two games. Well, you would think with the losses that he
Yeah.
wasn't, but he actually has been playing.
Oh, well, I know I saw he played against the Lakers, but then he didn't. Then he stopped the next game where he did. But I mean, it's tough.
Mhm.
It's tough. But and speaking of I do think the Hornets, they have some, with I've been talking about Kalkbrenner and obviously Knueppel. Like, let's see what they're gonna do. I mean, LaMelo has been there for quite some time. They don't forget they also have Brandon Miller. They had Mark Williams. They moved Mark Williams. I thought that was kind of maybe not the best move, but LaMelo's been hurt quite a bit. I mean, is that team going to be good, or are they going to move LaMelo? What do you think about that? Do you think LaMelo's going to stay with those guys over
First
in
of all,
Charlotte?
I'm rooting for the Hornets, a team that has been this bad for so long.
Right.
That's the type of team I love. I love like their colorways. I'm
Yeah.
very like nostalgic when it comes back to the Larry Johnson Lonzo Mourning
Yeah,
Hornets.
Grandmama.
Um, but so I saw a trade. I don't know exactly the breakdown of it, but I saw LaMelo and Anthony Davis are kind of friends, or Anthony Edwards are friendly, and the T-Wolves need a point guard. They
Interesting.
keep losing close games, and Conley is washed.
Conley's washed. I mean,
Um,
they have Dillingham, but he doesn't look like he's getting enough minutes, or like they kind of fallen off. That would be interesting.
well, would you
LaMelo could be a
trade?
great.
Would you? And the Hornets don't have. a center or rim protection, would you trade Naz Reid for LaMelo? Straight up,
I mean, of
no
course. I
picks.
mean,
Who says no?
well, I will. I would. I mean, I think Lamelo's ceiling is much higher. Uh, Lamelo's ceiling is much higher than Nas Reed, but Lamelo's been hurt so much. I wonder if he goes and plays on a team. But look, he was an all-star one year, but he hasn't done much in the league. I think maybe a change of pace would be good for him. Or like I do think if he can get healthy with Brandon Miller, maybe this Hornets team can be a playoff team. But anyway, so we're gonna keep moving, Chu. This is it's good talk as always. This Kia rookie ladder has been going pretty smoothly. But speaking of Jalen Duren, right? Speaking of the Detroit Pistons, he's averaging like 20 and 10. He's dominating. He's one of the main reasons, obviously, along with Cade Cunningham, that the Pistons are sitting atop the Eastern Conference. He currently, according to the ESPN most improved player odds, he is number one at plus 240 to win most improved player above Abdija, Giddy, Ryan Rollins, Jalen Johnson, Austin Reaves, wow, even him, Keontae, Nickeil, Mathurin, and your boy Reed Shepard. So Jalen Duren kind of he had the profile, but he's putting it together in a way that I think not a lot of people saw coming. But and I think you had sent this over on X. Here are some clips of him as 14, just dominating, jumping out of the rim. What are we thinking about Jalen Duren? Is he a shoo-in for most improved player of the year or not?
It looks like it, especially if the Pistons hold on to the number one seed. Yeah,
Yep.
the fact that this guy is a freshman in high school on this clip is
Yeah.
like it doesn't even it's a joke.
Dominating.
He looks like he's like 34.
Yeah, he's huge. He's this and we knew he was a good rebounder. We knew he was athletic, but could he score? Could he hit free throws? Could he play defense in solid defense without just going for the blocks? And I think the first couple of seasons in the NBA, he wasn't doing that. And now he's really kind of putting it together and playing really well as that, number two guy. But the Pistons have dropped two in a row after winning like 13 or 14 in a row. But you're not gonna win them all. But I like Duren. I'm happy for Duren. And I'm really happy with the Pistons' success, just like we talked about with the Pacers or even the Hornets. Like for teams that have been bad for so long, especially with the historic turnaround that you're seeing with the Pistons, why not? Let's root for these guys.
Who does Duran remind you of? Which big? To
Oh,
me, it's so clear when I watch these clips.
tell me, who does he remind you of?
Well, Dwight Howard. Like
Oh,
this looks
interesting.
like Dwight Howard, but honestly, right now, I think offensively, right now. Uh, Jalen Duren is basically like has better. He's more polished offensively than Dwight Howard. You know, his touch
Especially
is way
from
better.
the line.
Dwight Howard had that jump hook,
Yeah.
but he never really developed both hands. Defensively, Dwight was probably better, but like, yeah, just like they look, they're both freaks.
I like that comp. I mean, I think that Duran will continue to improve. It seems like he has been working on his game. I mean, he's on my shout out to my Dynasty Fantasy League. Uh, but I drafted Duran as a rookie a few years ago. I'm kind of watching him, and it's like he couldn't make free throws, and now he's making free throws. And a big like that, if they can make their free throws at a relatively high percent, like even 70%, 75%, like it becomes much more dangerous because you can't just put them at the line. But
Yeah,
any of these guys could sneak in. Avdija's playing well, Giddy's playing well, but those teams are not as good, right? Same with Rollins. Jalen Johnson he seems to be playing really well with Trey on the shelf. Austin Reaves is playing at an all-star level, but he was good last year, right? So the leap maybe as of improvement is not there. But I do think your boy over here, Mathurin got hurt. Nickeil is surprisingly playing really well as well for the Hawks, but Reed Shepard, if he continues to play at this pace and the Rockets make, a push for that two seed, I do think Reed Shepard, he had like a career high 31 points last game or a couple games ago. I think it could be he could make his way up this ladder too.
yeah. I
You know?
mean, he had such a bad rookie season. He's the exact type of player that I root for. The comeback. So he's in the perfect situation. The player in front of him. who played his exact position, happened to go down for the whole year, and he was just like handed the car keys. But there's so much infrastructure around him that they can he can pick and choose his spots. Real quick, with looking at Nickeil Alexander-Walker
Yeah,
and Jalen Johnson both on this team, um, I mean, to me, it's clear the Hawks need to trade Trae Young. Just
right.
get a few more. Just um, you don't need like a star back, but you just get complementary pick pieces around it, and you build out around this like long, athletic, defensive minded, uh, kind of like kind of like the Pistons or the Thunder. You know, you have two players in the top, what is that, eight in most improved, while Trae Young's on the bench. What does that say? You
Right,
know, and
right.
the team's better than ever. It's like Trae Young is not in the playoffs, he is going to get picked apart, and so
Yeah. No,
it's clear you got to trade him.
I definitely think that with the success of the Hawks and the rise of Jalen Johnson, because sometimes when, like, let's say Trey sits, can Jalen Johnson, you were wondering, like, can he still do what he's doing? He's doing that and more. I think his assists are up, his scoring is up, his rebounds are up. He's actually seems like the guy. And Nickeil Alexander Walker, as a guy who kind of bounced around the league, kind of found his way as like a defensive player with the Timberwolves last year, and getting some money to go playing with the Hawks. Maybe he's now arrived as well. He's been in the league for quite some time, and he. I was wondering what his arc was going to be, but he's still kind of showing that he can play. So that's
Yeah,
actually a good point. I do think Trey could be on the trade block. I know I want to do a trade block episode sooner than later as well because there's a lot of players like that. But Trey is definitely like that. Um, no, I completely agree with you with the Hawks over there. What does it say when your star player's on the bench and the team wins? The writing's on the wall. Um, and to that point, I think we have a couple more things to do here before we went over there. The MIP thing, and they have that Dyson Daniels, reigning most improved player of the year. I wanted to show you this actually too. This is something that I think it maybe I think you sent it or I sent it in our thread. This thing you mentioned it earlier with this whole thing with the uh deficient with the defense and the defensive efficiency. If you look at this, the Thunder are way above, right? Per 100 possessions,
ridiculous.
the Thunder are giving up 104 points. The Pistons, who are second, are a massive drop off. And you do a really good job. You have always have a good feel of like what's happening in the league, right? Like we were talking about it earlier with what the Clippers are doing, always a step behind. People are now copying the Thunder, right? That's kind of what the goal is like playing this aggressive defense, having deep benches. It's not vet savvy. It's not, have shortening the rotations in the playoffs, even really, seven or eight people it's like depth and speed and scoring and steals and flying out of the gym. So
Well, it's crazy that it took this long for people to realize that you should pressure the ball 94 feet. Like, and that's what Carlisle did and the Thunder do so well
yeah,
in the finals. Is like, wait, why were we just letting people just walk the ball up? You know, as the game gets more and more solved, it's like, you know what? Let's pressure them. Let's wear them down. Let's get them to start the shot. Like the difference between starting their offense at say the 18-second mark versus the 14-second mark is a big difference in offense. And you just
huge.
picking, yeah, it might not matter for that one or two defensive possessions, but when you spread that out over the course of a whole game or even more the course of a whole season, you're just picking up edges. And
Yes.
I mean, this chart right here makes me sick to my stomach seeing how good the Thunder are defensively. Like
So
they
good.
are so good,
Cut above.
and
Look at this. Yeah.
there is only one shot to beat this team. Jokic is going to have to go supernova, and if they don't, if they're going to if they're going to let them play and basically let Caruso foul the shit out of Jokic, it's going to be a they're
Repeat. What
it's
about
going to
the
be repeat.
Rockets? Rockets, Lakers, Spurs, no chance. No one. No one out of the
No.
East. No one. Yeah.
No, this is the Thunder's championship, and they can even have their second best player go down and still be. They did this defensive rating without I believe Jalen Williams was
Yeah,
an
he played his
all-time
first
was
game
a
yesterday. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but I believe he made an all defensive team last year.
He
I think
did.
Jalen
I
Williams made
believe
yeah.
so. I did.
They
Yeah.
did this without Jalen Williams, their second best player. It's like
Clippers curse is for real. Okay.
the Clippers curse continues. The
It
Clippers curse
continues.
continue.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just
And
you had mentioned it too. I want to bring up this chart that I had. So, the NBA is changing, and I think that with the Thunder winning last year, it's front and center now. Young teams, deeper teams, hungry teams. Like you said earlier, with the rookie classes coming out as hot as they are, like the guard is changing. I do think that maybe the Rockets or the Nuggets, have a chance, or maybe the Nuggets trade for someone. I don't know, but there's a lot going on here. And before, okay, we're gonna go to the Emirates Cup, but really quick, I just want to share this as not to hurt your feelings too much, but I saw this as well. I saw this picture. It's Patrick, SpongeBob's friend Patrick Star sleeping comfortably at night with his Lakers beanie, with his portraits of Austin and Luca and Aiton and stuff like that. I just wanted to say, yesterday, watching the Lakers beat the AD flag-led Mavs. It's good to be a Laker fan right now.
how did they not include Austin Reaves in the Luka trade?
Somehow, somehow Palinka was able to pull it off without getting Austin, who is putting up all-star numbers. He's a shoo-in for an all-star, I think, at this point.
Rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. I don't know how. I don't know how Austin Reaves. You didn't get any draft capital or Austin Reaves. Like
Yep,
you know the Lakers last year at this time before the trade they were kind of circling the drain. It's like you had a washed LeBron, not washed, but you had a very old LeBron. You had an
Wash is
injury
fair, I
prone
think.
Davis. You had an injury prone Davis. It's like you didn't really have much future. And then now fast forward a year, you have Luca in his prime and Austin Reeves playing at. I mean, Austin Reeves, like you can compare this season to some of the best seasons in the NBA ever.
Yeah,
Like what?
yeah.
Pull up some Austin Reeves stats really quickly. Like this
What are
guy is
his?
killing people,
I
dude.
think his
Like,
stats. It's like 28, 7, and 6 or something like
is
that.
it seriously 28?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Look,
God. So he's
I
basically
think so.
he's basically like Dwayne Wade over here.
And if you look at him, and I think that he's averaging what is the number at
Yeah, so
28,
basically he's
28,
playing
6, and
better than
7.
any peak Allen Iverson season right now.
He's averaging 51% from the field, 6.7 assists, 6 boards, and playing off of Luca. It's like, and with LeBron kind of letting Austin and Luca just handle the ball and playing off ball as he's been doing. I mean, this guy, he's the real deal, dude. He's really good. Austin Reeves is really really good. He's
Yeah,
better.
like okay, so
uh,
this is better. This is better than any Allen Iverson season. This is better than any Vince Carter season. This is better than I mean any great two guard. This is going up that you can throw this season so far against most all-time great. Like what is Dwayne Wade's best season?
It's like, I don't
28,
know.
5 and 6? It's got to
Yeah,
be right
I mean,
there.
again, it's the whole thing about NBA slower, more possessions, more passing. You can
It's
always go
slower,
back.
and Dwayne Wade was a defensive menace, but offensively, like
It's
all
gonna
of these great, this is way better than any Jamal Crawford or any offensive savant. Lou Williams killing these dudes, you
Dude.
know.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
Austin Reeves in the playoffs will teams be like what happened last year, right, with the Timberwolves? Will they be able to do step up enough defensively to, but it's a different story. But I had to kind of throw that in there as a Laker fan for you.
real quick, what is Anthony Edwards' stats right now?
Okay, look.
It's got to be close to this, right? Like, what is
I think that Austin is averaging a better numbers right now. Let's see. Let's look at his currently
he's
20.
averaging? Oh my God,
28, 28, 5, and 4 at best. He's edging out Anthony Davis in rebounds. He's averaging 2 more assists and 4 more steals than Anthony.
and he's okay. Granted, different situation, obviously.
Sure.
He's averaging more points, rebounds, assists. He's shooting better 3 point, and his field goals better. He's he is outperforming on the offensive end, not defensively.
Yeah.
On the offensive end, he is crushing Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be happy for him. You got to be happy for Austin Reeves. And like you said, like how
Of
come
course, yeah.
you imagine he should be in a what do you call it, jersey, a Mavs jersey, but we're not going to go there. So look,
Do you know who would be a great pairing for Cooper Flag. I'll tell you what, it's not D'Angelo Russell. It's not like PJ Washington. It would be Austin Reaves.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves and Cooper Flag
Yeah.
together on a team. I mean, that's like a perfect, that's a great compliment right there.
Okay.
But the NBA is rigged and somehow the Lakers kept him and here we are.
Yes.
I have $100 bet with Salif for the Clippers having a better record than the Lakers as I'm
There's no,
watching
I mean,
Austin Reeves.
you already lost.
I'm
You
watching
might as well
Austin
bet
Reeves
him up
outperform
now.
Anthony Edwards as my Clippers are just lighting themselves on fire and jumping into the nuclear reactor.
Yeah, you might as well sell him right now. I mean, there's no way the Clippers are going to come back and pass the Lakers,
No,
right? Unless they're barring injury. But even the Clippers just look, they're just too old. Okay,
I
so
know. I know.
we're gonna end today's episode, Chew, with a quick bracket predictions here for the NBA Emirates Cup. We had been kind of following this. These horrible courts colors and our analytics guys are going to be looking at some crunching some numbers about turnovers and all of this, but the brackets are set. This is going to be a single elimination tournament, if I believe that's correct. The
Yes.
knockout stages. We have the quarterfinals are going to be the OKC Thunder versus the Suns, and to play the winner of the Lakers Spurs. Those are going to be December 10th. December 9th, you have the Magic versus the Heat, who are playing, both these teams are kind of playing well. And then the upstart Raptors, also pretty high up in the Eastern Conference against the Knicks, who have been relatively consistent. Um, Chew, let's do this together. Let's fill this out, and then we're gonna call it. Chew. Let's start with the first game here, the quarterfinals. Magic Heat. Who do you got?
I'm taking to continue the Clippers curse, Norm Powell, who by the way you should see those stats.
Oh, Norman
I'm
Powell.
taking
Right, right.
I'm taking the Norm Powell led Heat over
So Chew.
the Magic.
You're gonna be pink, okay? So
Okay.
you're gonna take the Heat,
Yep.
you know? Okay, and then I'll be here. I'll be blue. I'll be blue. Why not? Okay. You know what? Um, I'm gonna take the Heat as well. I think Orlando is playing better, but okay. Shout out to Khalil Ware, who's also dominating over there, over in Miami. Spoelstra got that team playing well. You know, they're quietly again, just
Perfect.
playing
It's the
good
perfect
basketball.
franchise.
Huh?
It's the perfect franchise,
It's well
consistently just
organized,
winning.
well coached. GMs are, Pat Riley, all that stuff. And the team is doing well. And they just got Hero back, and he's playing really well. So I will take the Heat as well. What about down here? Raptors, Knicks. What do you got?
I'm going Knicks.
You going Knicks? Okay. You will go
I
Knicks.
know the Raptors are killing people, but I just, I feel like the Knicks are built a team built to win right now.
I agree. I agree that the Knicks are our team to win, but without OG Anunoby, who they need to play revenge against his old team over in the Raptors. I'm gonna go with the Raptors. I'm gonna give a shout out to Scotty Barnes, your boy, who you met at the airport one time. I remember when he was getting drafted. I like that team with Bi, Scotty, Emmanuel quickly revenge game against the Knicks. I kind of like that art, that I kind of like that. I think the Raptors are a solid squad, and I'll take the Raptors over there. What about OKC or Suns? Should I even ask
Just
you?
listen, just run OKC straight to the
Honestly,
championship
just OKC here.
right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not even gonna be close. It's gonna be a murder. I'm
I
hoping is Wimby gonna come back at all? If
I'm actually not sure. What? So how long is Wemby out? So this cup is what? It's in December 10. Can you look it up? Is Wemby? I'm looking it up now. Playing in the NBA Cup. Let's see. I don't think he has a calf strain and is going to miss multiple weeks, so he probably will miss this game.
yeah, they're not gonna it's not gonna matter. Yeah, so basically it's gonna be Lakers and then OKC and then
Okay.
OKC wins the whole thing. Yeah,
Okay. Look,
it's
I'm gonna. So you're gonna take Lakers here. You'll take Lakers as well.
yep.
Okay, but Chew, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna go with my heart on this. The Lakers are gonna have a touch of brilliance. They're gonna come back because the OKC dominated them. They got blown out by 30. It was the worst loss of the season for the Lakers. They're gonna come back. Luka and Austin and the squad are gonna be ready to go. I'm gonna take the Lakers over OKC. in the NBA Cup. You're gonna take I'm assuming
I'm
the
taking OKC. Yeah.
OKC, you know. Okay, and then so Heat versus you say Heat or Knicks?
Let's go Heat. Let's go Heat. Heat culture, baby.
Heat culture. You're gonna stick with the Heat. Okay, Chew, you'll stick with the Heat here. And then I'm gonna go. Let's see. You know what? I'll do it just for the sake of parody. I think there's a narrative. I think the Raptors on their heat streak. I think they're gonna avoid extinction and they're gonna keep going. They're gonna win. Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
shout out to dinosaurs. I've got a 4-year-old who loves dinosaurs, so
here
you
you
know.
go. Shout out dinosaurs. And then so you're saying it's going to be OKC versus Miami, and you think it's going to be the Cup gets OKC, right?
I know that Solane says that stats don't matter, but there is so much statistical dominance in Oklahoma City that you just cannot. This team is, I mean, statistically, they are breaking basketball.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think statistical Sylvain. I mean, he's not here to defend himself, but he doesn't like statistics when they don't affect his case. But yeah, he'll go on and on about the plus minus of LeBron James, and anyway, we're not going to say too much negative stuff about Coach without him here to defend himself. But yeah, you got OKC. I got the Lakers. I'm just gonna, I'm going with my heart. They have a puncher shot, but I agree. I think the OKC, they're playing on all cylinders right now. And there you have it. Let me actually take a snapshot of this so I can. Let me take a little photo here
Let's
to
do
kind
it.
of solidify this as our boop. All right. But there you have it. There you have it. Everyone out there in basketball land. Chu and I took taking a deep dive into the rookie NBA ladder, the most improved player, and some offshoots with defensive stalwart OKC, Lakers love, Clippers curse, all things basketball. I know you guys love it out there. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah, we'll see y'all next week. All right, later.
Later, guys.